Coming up today, we're chatting with Ty Penshorn.
It's absolutely huge. I had so many people play on it, like all the brass players in town.
And I'll tell you about the Groove and the Moo lineup. Produced on Awabakal and Warramai Land, this is The Good Stuff, powered by BYD on Newcastle Live.
This is
Good.
good stuff.
The Good Stuff. Groove and the Moo has just announced their lineup for 2024. It features iconic Aussie band Jet, international acts like The Kooks and Muramasa, and heaps more. Melanie C's even going to do a DJ set. Groove and the Moo will roll into Foreshore Park in Newcastle this May. To check out the rest of the lineup and try to snag some tickets, head on over to newcastlelive.com.au.
Good.
Local muso Ty Penshorn is about to launch his album Back to Blue at Lizottes. Here's the chat that we had with Ty prior to his gig. I want to start off by asking about the inspiration for this album.
Well, all of my albums seem to come about with I'm just wait for inspiration for writing, and eventually I'll have enough for an album that I'm happy with, and sometimes that process happens quick and sometimes it takes years. And I guess this one was we had the COVID break, we had the COVID period, so a lot of it was written when there was no gigs on and we were stuck indoors, and it came that the writing process was quite quick, but then the recording process took a while. And I guess there was a bunch of songs, and before you know it, I'm going, I only need a few more and there's enough for an album. And then eventually they came together. And the inspiration was just all different things. I write about different things, whatever comes to me, and try not to write it again, you know.
Yeah. Would you say there's an overarching theme in the album then?
It's Back to Blue. Yeah, it's sort of related because my Carry the Blues was my sort of first solo thing. Yeah. So it was, it runs in line because there is a lot of blues influence in this one. There's a few 12 bars with a twist. And the bluesy stuff was coming together really good, and I thought, well, Back to Blue was one of the songs, and I thought, oh, well, that's always good branding to run the album with a song title, especially being like independent. You need as much promotion as you can and branding as you can, so it sort of sounded like an album to me, Back to Blue. Yeah. Maybe because the Rolling Stones have what have they got? Black and Blue.
Black and Blue?
Yeah, they got Black and Blue.
I was thinking about Amy Winehouse.
Oh, and she's Back to Black.
Back to Black.
Yeah, and Back in Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, what company to be in?
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll put them all together in the on the shelves.
Yeah, definitely. So this album features 12 originals and 2 covers. Can you tell me how you picked those covers?
Yes, well, the first cover was a bit of an accident because I've always wanted to record this song like a big band style. I won't say what it is because I haven't done it yet, but it was a big band thing, and it was overwhelming for me because it's huge orchestra in this song. The song Sea Cruise was the first cover, and it was done in the style of, say, a Brian Setzer orchestra, or even, I don't know, maybe Harry Connick Jr. but add electric guitars sort of thing, or even Bublé. It's this big band. This Sea Cruise song was actually chosen as a 12-bar easy practice song. So I thought, let me do this practice one before I try and do this one as a present for my mother down the track. And it came up massive. It's absolutely huge. I had so many people play on it, like all the brass players in town. And then someone will come in and add a saxophonist, like, yeah. That's brilliant. So we end up keeping it. So that one, I had no intention of that going on the album, but when it all came together, we sort of like, well, what do you do with it? You're mad not adding it to the album. It's something different, and it's got a little story to it because it was just a practice song. That's how that one came about. And the other one was Eleanor Rigby, which I'm a Beatlemaniac, so I always loved the Beatles, and I wouldn't take a cover of theirs on lightly. Yeah. But I've always loved the Zoot version of Eleanor Rigby, which has got the guitar riffs. It's all riffarama. Yeah. And what makes mine unique is it has that similar sort of vibe with the verses, but then it gets to a chorus and it's all reggae.
Okay.
And it goes all reggae. And hopefully it doesn't upset too many Beatlemaniacs.
No, I'm sure
so far
it'll be
so
sick.
good.
So you have a song on the album that was co-written with your son Eddie, who's just had a few big years in his career, even though he's a youngster.
I know.
He's massive
I have
already.
to try living with him.
Yeah, right. Was it hard to write together?
Well, it was a bit of fun. I think the song we wrote together came up really, really good. It's like one of the best songs on the album, I think. So originally he was going through a Kiss stage, and he's like, we just sat down for a bit of fun and said, let's just see what we write, because there's no rules with writing, and you might come up with something great. You know, everything's a fluke, everything's an accident when it's good, and you can't just sit down and say, I'm going to write a song better than Hotel California today. It doesn't happen. So he said, Dad, what about Black Diamond, like Kiss? Let's write a song like that. It's like, well, that sounds good. So then we started studying gemstones to get inspiration for our lyrics and stuff. And he goes, Dad, I know, Sapphire. So then we looked up Sapphire to get to see what it had to say. And it said, very common, boring gemstone. And we're like, oh, mate, how are we going to write a song about someone being really common and boring? Yeah. But then as we read further, we found this really unique, rare one, which is called a Black Star Sapphire, which is, I said, mate, that sounds better. And he's like, yeah. So then we had our title, and away we went writing it, and it's come up with this T-Rexy, Bowie, glam, Roxy music vibe. Yeah. And I got contacted by a station in Middle Russia.
Right, okay.
And they asked if they want to put 2 of the songs on high rotation, and Eleanor Rigby is one, and the other one's Black Star Sapphire. Wow. And I said, well, that's great. I'm like, so Eddie just continues to kick goals. They had 12 songs to choose from.
That's fantastic. Now, you have your launch show tomorrow night at Lizottes, and your band actually features some crazy feature artists. Who do you have playing with you on the night? On the night we have, Eddie will definitely make an appearance. He'll probably be the finale. It's in his contract. We'll have, I've got on drums, I've got Rick McCann on drums, and as well as Dane Baldwin playing some drums, and Steve McLennan, who's known as Mac. He doesn't know yet, but I think we'll get him to play a song, because he's going to be our host, because he did it last time and he was fantastic. I'm bass player most of the time, but there'll be a tune we probably get Dave Carter. Beautiful. Who'll be there when he's not playing his bagpipes, because one of the songs on the album features Dave's bagpipes as the riff. Yeah. I didn't know that Dave played bagpipes. Oh, really? What can't he play? Yeah, exactly. What can't Dave play? I don't know. I think he's the multi-instrumentalist of Newcastle. Mark Hoppy as a guitarist, who I play with all the time. He's a fantastic guitarist. And I've also got Rupert Jenner. He's flying down from Brisbane tomorrow, and he played in Little Hornet with me. We did 5 albums together in the late 90s, early 2000s. And Jason Tyler on keyboards. Another guy that doesn't need to practice. Just here's the songs, he's got them, plays them perfect. Brilliant. Yeah. Yeah. It sounds like it's going to be an absolutely stellar night. I'd love to say a big congratulations on this new album, and thank you so much for coming in for a chat. Well, thanks for having me. The good stuff. That's it for the good stuff today. I'd love to say a big thank you to Ty Penshorn. Be sure to head along to Lizottes tomorrow night. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow from 4 p.m. for more of the good stuff.